Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Radnothy with Pickleball.com, and I have an exciting interview today here with the fabulous Jen Rogers. Jen, how are you today?
Doing good. I'm so excited to be, talking with you. And it's been so fun seeing all of your work as well. So kudos to you on, yes, your everything that you've been writing, and I love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So, we are here to talk about fashion, okay? We're here to talk about your new line, ELN. Give me the backstory. How did this come about?
Great question. So ELN came about honestly because of Noe and me traveling with him to all the tournaments. I remember going in the stores and being like, where are all like the women's clothes, right? Like there's a lot of men's options. And I'd say even for like paddle brands and stuff like that, they I feel like they have emphasized and put a lot of work into like their men's lines, but I've thought like, what about us? Right? Like I really do believe that the women are the heartbeat and soul of pickleball. And just like I believe women are the heartbeat and souls of their families.
Of course.
So I'm like, I want to create something where we can give back to all the influential women, honestly, that are making a name for themselves in the industry. So, and looking really cute doing it.
Oh, I love that.
ELN is actually named after my boys. I have three boys, Eli, Liam, and Noah. Honestly, I wanted to build something for them and kind of attribute it to myself too, because I do feel like motherhood, I kind of lost myself. Yeah, you kind of lose your spark a little bit, lose like your passion because you're so focused on like your kids staying alive and like you being a good mom and like doing all the things. So this was also a way for me to give back to myself, right? And show my kids that if, mom's chasing her dreams and building a brand, then like they can too.
Oh, moms can do it all too, and make it look good.
You know what? Sometimes we like don't have a choice, right? It's like it's either you do it or like someone's life's in at risk, right? Or it doesn't get done.
Tell me about your pickleball background. How long have you been playing?
Oh, that's a good question. So I started playing back in Utah. St. George is actually my hometown.
Okay.
So it's fun going back to Red Rock every year because I get to see like all my favorite people. So I started after I had my last baby. He was probably a little less than a year old. And I was like in the trenches. I had been laid off from my corporate job and was having issues with my family too. We were Mormon, my ex-husband and I, to get real personal. And we decided that the church wasn't for us anymore. So that caused like a big, big rift in our family. And so it was all during that time I was going to therapy. I was like trying to keep, everything afloat in my family. We were financially like having an issue because I lost my job. And then I found pickleball. And I was like, oh my God, like I feel like myself again, right? I remember going to the courts. My friend was like, me and her were athletes growing up too. So she's so funny. She actually tore her ACL
Oh,
and she kills me. But she was like, let's sign up for a pickleball tournament before I have to get surgery. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yes, I'm gonna be out for like 6 to 8 months. So like this is our last hurrah. And we had never played before. And so we signed up. It was like 2 weeks later, and we got bronze. No, we got silver.
okay, there you go.
I think it was like 3-0. We didn't even know the levels. But like we had our little senior friends come that we had met. They like were helping us practice. Like we just met them on the court, and they came and like cheered us on the whole time. And I'm like, I freaking love this sport. Like you can become friends with anybody of all age groups, right? And they kind of just become family. So I know that was probably long-winded.
But I know you're pretty good at pickleball, though. You have, you've played for a while now, and you obviously helped Noe train. So, I mean, you're coming from a point of very good reason when it comes to like developing clothing for pickleball because you're so trained in it, like you play every day.
Very true. You know what? It's funny. I grew up a tomboy. So, like, all the dresses and the skirts, like, I was forced to wear dresses and skirts to church, and I hated it. So, it's just funny now being like, kind of coming into my own. Like, I do want, to, I have found a passion in like dressing and looking at my best. And also, I do feel much better when I play in a cute outfit. So, and yeah, Noe has helped my game tremendously. And it's so funny too, because I was like, oh, maybe I want to go pro. And then I like saw him play and I'm like, I cannot do this. I've seen him chase his dreams and it's been so fun. And he's like, I want you to chase yours as well. Like, let's do this together. He's been like a big reason too as to why I've chosen to pursue this.
Well, and I'm sure it's super helpful to have someone like Noe that you get to travel with an overwhelming majority of the time. So you get to see all of kind of the issues that girls run into when it comes to like pickleball fashion. Like, do you find that to be true?
Absolutely, too. Yeah. And it's interesting, like hearing from some of his partners, and, they're kind of supposed to wear certain things. And I'm like, it makes sense that these paddle companies have emphasized or like put all of their money into paddles, right? They need a
Yeah.
paddle that will represent these players well. So it makes sense that maybe their apparel isn't as like luxury branded or anything like that. So I would love to partner with paddle companies and see if like we could, maybe change up their women's fashion lines. And I have big, big dreams for this. I think there's just a way to give back to the women of the sport a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like, these big brands like Yola, Selkirk, their stuff is okay. It's not great.
Yeah.
And I too want to elevate the pickleball fashion and make it to be like tennis where it's luxe, it's interesting. I mean that's we
Yes.
would love to see it.
Yes. I agree too. I think and I love how these women like Paris Todd and Tyra and like they're bringing in these big name brands too, and they're that are so needed in the space, and they have such an influence on the women too of pickleball. And so I love that they're bringing these styles into the sport, but it is still tennis, right? Like Aloe, I think it's more yoga based, right? But I'm like, I want to create something that is specifically pickleball made. This is our brand.
And it's needed too.
Yes, I've got a lot of great feedback so far. I have my friends come over, try them on. What do you like? What do you not like? Where does it fit here? Is it too big here? So I'm getting a lot of good feedback, and I've got fashionable friends.
Hey, it takes an army.
They tell me the truth too. They're like, I do not like that. I wouldn't wear this. I'm like, perfect. Next.
Those are good friends. Those are ones you can trust.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm like, give me the honest feedback, please.
So what has the design process been like? How would you maybe describe the aesthetic? Sell it to me. Tell me about it.
I wanted to make pieces that were for pickleball on court luxury that could also translate to off court luxury. I live in my pickleball gear. Everyone who plays and is obsessed with the sport lives in their clothing. And I also see, like, Noe, for example, he lives in his Yola gear. He loves it. He eats, sleeps, and breathes it, right? I'm like, I want to create something that women will fall in love with. So I knew that comfort and the material quality was a must. So I have gone through hundreds of manufacturing companies to find the best. And I'm not kidding you. Noe was like, why is there another package here again? I'm like, I have to get the best of the best stuff for these girls, right? Like, so I'm not gonna settle for anything less than like really high quality stuff. Yeah, the design process has been super fun, but also very tedious and stressful. I'm really, really confident in the manufacturing and the design process that we have now. It's been a really fun, crazy ride.
And do you have a background in fashion design at all?
Absolutely not. It's so funny too, because some of my cousin and I've got friends too, they were the ones known for like their apparel and what they would wear and to school and stuff. And I was always like a big hoodie and like, because I grew up playing every sport except golf and volleyball, right? So I came from one of those hometowns where it was like I just lived in apparel, right? So, and it's funny, I'm like I can create stuff where people, can mix and match. Like if you are more of a tomboy, we'll have stuff for you. But it'll also be more of an elevated look. Like it doesn't have to be, super baggy. And if it is baggy, it will have the right cut, right? It will be something that's tailored more towards your body instead of just like another shirt or another branded logo shirt that you just throw on.
So tell me about maybe a favorite piece that you have. Give me an insight into your collection and some of your standout items.
You know, it's interesting. What I think is going to be different about this line, it's going to be tailored towards more personal stories. This first collection is about my personal story. So every piece will have a little bit of like a narrative behind it. So one of our staple dresses, the Good Girl dress. We're gonna launch it in pink and black. That story behind it was you can rewrite your story, right? Like in the beginning, I was like, I grew up being the good girl. I grew up doing all the right things. And when I decided to take my own path and maybe step out of the norm, that's when I was like, am I bad? Right? Like, am I not a good person anymore because I chose a different path for my life? And so that dress is kind of like a staple for me because it's like you can still be a good, great person that isn't following said rules or, of your community or however you decided to grow up, but you can still be a beautiful, kind, great person. So each piece will kind of be more tailored towards a storyline. So I'm really excited about the branding side of it too.
Well, as a writer and storyteller, of course, I love that your fashion's going to
There
tell
we
a
go.
story.
Yes.
For speaking my language.
Yes, there's a lot of it's interesting every time I meet people on tour or like Noe's very like, hello, bye. And then he's like, did you meet another best friend? Because like I'll disappear and I'll just like still be talking to that person and then find out like their whole entire life story, right? And I think there's a level of depth too that like, yeah, there's a level of depth to everyone. And I think once you really get to know someone, like it's really hard to not like them. And so I think too, creating a story behind each piece, it's like, how can you hate this piece? And it's also comfortable
Yes.
and it's also freaking cute. So I like want these women to just kind of identify with the pieces. That is me, right? Like this is who I've been and how I've kind of, portrayed myself.
Well, and your
So
clothes tell a story. You're broadcasting who you are, your personal aesthetic, your likes, your dislikes, whatever you're wearing. So I totally agree with you. I think that's great.
absolutely. And I think too, there's so many like written narratives that we have for ourselves that maybe other people have like told us, like, this is who you are. And it's like, no, I can decide for myself what I want to choose, what I don't choose.
Yeah, I
So
may always wear pink, but I can wear a little black dress too.
I'm gonna be a little spicy tonight, right? Like, absolutely. And we'll have options.
Well, that is so exciting. And so you said you're launching a new collection in May. When does
Yes.
this launch?
May 19th is my birthday. So I'm like, what better day than to do a little launch process. So
Yes. We have so much
yes,
to
it's
celebrate on that day then.
so much to celebrate. Yes. And I kind of grew up not celebrating my wins and not celebrate. It was kind of like, don't make it about yourself, don't be worldly. And I'm like, absolutely not. We deserve to like pump ourselves up. Like
Hmm.
even the girls that are getting flack for like screaming on the court, I'm like, no, they have every right to like fight for themselves and like yeah, like a Kate Fahey, for example, I love her and she's been getting flack lately and I'm like no, no, no. She has every right to like fight for her game and fight for her spot. And yeah, so it's just interesting. Every time I feel like a little like defend or mama bear, I don't know. There's just something with her that I love.
No, I couldn't agree more, especially because when you're that good, you can be as loud as you need. Like honestly.
Yes, Annalie too. It's like let them freaking roar. Absolutely. They deserve a space and they deserve to have a voice.
Oh, amen, sister, right? So tell me about this ambassador program. How is it going to, benefit overall with, helping market, get your line out there?
Oh, I like that question. So that's been something I've been working on for like, it's been a while. So I wanted to make sure that the ambassadors were, people that definitely fit the mold to the brand, but I also wanted to create a tier specifically for the moms, the mom pickleballers that are like me. Maybe because I wanted some friends, some more friends like me. Um, that there's just it's just a different story when you're obsessed with pickleball and you're a mom. Like there's a deeper meaning. I see Brooke Buckner and Callie Smith, right? And Julie Johnson too. The work that they do goes unnoticed. They're and I kind of want to change that. I don't know how, but that's like I'm on a mission to do that. Like I want these women to feel so seen. I wanted to create a tier. So I have 10 moms in my VIP Mama ambassador tier. And they're gonna get like obviously they're going to get different perks. So each of them are going to get like a big discount. They're going to get their own affiliate codes, and then we're going to create certain looks around them. And a big part of the brand is to create, I'm going to interview each of them so they can kind of get their stories out there as well. And we'll market their stories and let people know like this is what they're going through. You don't know the ins and outs of what it's like to find a sport where you feel like yourself again, but also off court, you're still giving everything and more to your family.
The
So I'm
come up
like, these
for
women need to be celebrated.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and especially since you are so basing your collection around stories, I think that's just the best, most genius way to tie all these things together that you love so much and have so much passion for.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's exactly that. Like once you know someone's story, it's really hard to not like them. Yeah, one thing that I wasn't expecting through the ambassador program during the second application process, I had a question that said, put a photo here where you feel like your most beautiful self. And it's interesting because a lot of the feedback I got was like, I don't have a picture of just myself. Like
Mm,
I have a picture of just me and my kids, me and my husband, right? Like, but not one where I feel like beautiful. And I was like, damn. Like I wasn't expecting that, but I was like, I've been there where like you're maybe ashamed to like put yourself out there and so it is kind of a vulnerable thing, but I'm like, we're gonna get these women out of their comfort zones and we are gonna let them shine.
and give them confidence too. Just a little boost.
Absolutely.
You know when you put something on and
Yes.
you feel so cute and you're like, oh, you just have like a
Yes.
little like sparkle to you, you know?
Absolutely. And I'm like, get your freaking spark back. Let's get that confidence back through cute clothes and also like they're gonna be getting assignments to do selfies and we're gonna make you feel beautiful.
Yes, but sometimes you have to get outside of your comfort zone to do that, you know?
Exactly. And I hope the ambassadors too, like I believe in these women so much and I just want them to know that like I'm on a mission to help them in their game, in their style, all the things. And I just really want to create a company where the customers feel like we really do care.
Yeah, that's incredible. Oh, so many good things. I love the story so much.
I'm so glad. Yes, like I it's been a lot of hard work, but I'm like I know we're gonna make a difference and I'm just really excited.
Yeah, to have like to see it now next time you go to your local court and be like, "Oh my gosh, there goes one of my pieces."
Yes, well, that's funny. It's interesting that happened because I have my line in two clubs in Dallas here, and Noe and I did a little mixer event, and a girl on another court, Noe's like, "Oh my God, that's your skirt." And I was like, "Oh!" So after I saw her, and I was like, "Can I get a picture? That's my skirt." She's like, "Oh my God." And so it's funny. She's like, "I'm actually like an influencer," and I was like, sign up for my ambassador program. So she did, and she's actually a VIP ambassador now.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
I was like, you love this? Perfect. Like, let's do this.
So, where can people buy your clothes?
So my e-commerce line will be launching May 19th.
Okay.
That's the goal for 2025 to just start our e-commerce, get that up and running smoothly, and then hopefully start selling into different clubs. So sky's the limit. And it's interesting too, because I'm not backed by anybody. So this is just female owned. We're just trying and throwing something at the wall, right? And like shooting for the stars, and hopefully we'll get there, right?
I think you will. I'm pretty confident in you.
You know, it's a big risk, but I also want the ambassadors and the women of pickleball to know, like, that if I'm running this business and if I'm starting it out and I'm chasing my dream and taking big risks, they can too. And I think the more women that can do that, like, it's gonna make this industry a really powerful place.
Oh, absolutely. And a very fabulous one too.
And a freaking stylish one too.
I love it. Well, Jen, tell everyone where they can follow you and keep up to date with all of your adventures.
You can follow me at ELN Apparel on Instagram, and then my personal is Jen Rogers on Instagram. So go give us a follow. We won't disappoint you, I promise.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jen. This was so wonderful, and I look forward to seeing your collection launch.
Thank you so much. I've loved talking to you, and yeah, I'm really excited.
To shop Jen's collection, go to elnapparel.com. And if you want to keep up to date with all things pro pickleball fashion, scan the two QR codes on your screen to go right to pickleball.com or give us a follow on Instagram. Check out the video format of the best dressed list from the Veolia Atlanta Pickleball Championships. If you want to watch the pros serve up all the best looks live and in person, find a PPA tour stop near you.